didn't say it was nourishkeit, but I didn't believe in, like, I wasn't like the God of the Torah was for sure, I was maybe a little superstitious. I was a fearful kid. And so I became an atheist. I decided that there was nothing. Okay. And then I didn't, that decision really had an impact on me, as it turned out. I didn't realize the impact it had, but basically 2 months later, I wanted to kill myself. I could handle being an atheist for about 2 months, and then I had to jump off a building. And so I decided I needed to find the thing that, I think I shared this with you. I think I shared this with you last time. And I, no?
No, sure.
Sure.
What?
Some of it.
Yeah, some of it.
Not
Yeah.
the,
And
not the details.
yeah.
You shouldn't listen to me. I don't remember anything.
Okay. Good. And
But it made an impression.
It's just the assisted living.
I need assistance. So I decided I wanted to find the secret to life. I realized that no, everybody's miserable around me. It can't be that this is how the world is supposed to work. Everyone's so miserable, jaded college students and whatever. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. There's something that must know everything and the secret to how to live properly, because this is not how it should be done. And I want to find it. I thought Buddhism and meditation, something. And so within a week, a sign came up for a Kabbalah class, a great Kabbalah, whatever that is, that was, and then when I got turned on to it, but really I was looking for the secret of life, the secret of happiness. That's really what I was looking for. And I thought that only like God would know that, or whatever it is, not necessarily that in word. And so then I realized, okay, the Torah is true. The Torah is true. If the Torah is true, because intellectually it was unreasonable to think that people had put the Torah together. That became very clear to me very quickly. And that if this means this is true, the Torah is true, that means Olam Haba is true. I want to get a good seat in Olam Haba. And so I decided I don't want a nosebleed seat in Olam Haba. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'm not keeping Shabbos. I don't know a thing, and I'm not davening. I'm not like doing anything, but I stopped eating treif meat and treif cheese together. Maybe I gave some tzedakah, something, and I'm going to do this. And then Hashem came into my life. He came into my life. He said Shalom Aleichem to me, like a period of time. I think we've all had such an experience where we felt Hashem close. No? No, we never.
I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking somebody's looking to be superior. I was just looking to figure out, I'm trying to figure out how I can survive every day. That's not a joke.
It's not your job to survive every day.
What?
It's not your job to survive every day.
I understand. I got a new mantra.
You don't have to figure it out.
You want to hear one?
Yeah.
Yud K Vav K. Yud K Vav K once, Levado. Yud K Vav K 3 times, Levado for the Abad. Yud K Vav K 6 times for the 6 insides, right? With Levado at the end, and then Malchus, right? Noah, right? Yud K Vav K Levado.
Is that Levado inspired by me? By the Rebbe? Very good.
Absolutely.
So you have to know what's the beginning of Levado. The beginning of Levado is Lev. The beginning of Levado is Lev. Okay? The beginning of Hashem is one. There's nothing else but Hashem is Lev. And we talked about that of the process of history, is that Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim with signs and wonders, basically drugging us, with Hashem drugs.
People ask why I take drugs. I said it's Hashem's fault.
Yeah. So this was Hashem administering them. And then he had to wean us off these drugs. I think this is why Hashem had to be kafa aleim har kegigis. Right? It says by Matan Torah that Hashem, after we said Nasa v'nishma, it's a very strange thing. We said, Hashem, we want the Torah. And Hashem said, okay, great. So he lifted up Har Sinai and held it over the Jewish people and said, if you don't take the Torah, I'm going to drop this on you. The question is, what do you mean? We just said Nasa v'nishma. Why would Hashem do that? So the reason is because we would have said later we were under the influence. We were under the influence. Yeah, we said Nasa v'nishma, but you had drugged us. You gave us a date rape drug, kaviyachol, and so we were drugged. That's why we said nafs sabanisha. So he had to hold it over our head and say you're forced. And it wasn't until Purim that we were re-accepted the Torah from love, okay, from a willingness. Big Torah there, big Torah there. That was all part of the drug. That was all part of the drug. We were drugged. Miracles. Open miracles is a drug. It's a drug. It's an eye candy, and it's a drug. And even after the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, we still had about 2,000 years, because when the Beis Hamikdash was still in antiquity, it was still antiquity, and everybody was still into heebie-jeebie and spiritual, and there being another thing than God, and there being something else besides the material world. And so he had to wean us off that, because he needs to come. We needed to be brought to this place where it's an absolute free choice for us to choose God. What makes it a free choice for us now to choose God? Because nobody's telling us there's God. The exact opposite. Everybody who doesn't like God and who isn't into God, they have all the bling and the luxury and all the good stuff. And it's the people who love God are like, and it's like, who's God? And we see cause and effect. Cause and effect. We learn science, we learn laws, we learn nature. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So now my eyes are completely sober. I believe that we are now living in a completely sober age. We are sobered up. And so now, what is the final Geulah? What's the process of final Geulah? Hashem is just going to open the skies and drug us again? Is that what we're waiting for? For Hashem to open up the skies and drug us again? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That would defeat the entire purpose of the entire creation, for him to do that. So if we're waiting for Hashem to come out of the sky and give us a big shalom aleichem and destroy our enemies with lightning bolts and all these things, and oh great, Geulah, here he is, I'm so happy. That's not going to happen, because the whole process of Geulah is us deciding on our own that I love God and I want him. That I want him in my heart. And it's scary. It's really scary.
Which part?
To bring God into your heart and to believe in him levado.
Well,
because
he says it's hard. You saying it's scary.
Same thing. I mean the same thing.
Well, it's hard because it's scary.
It's because it's scary.
It's hard because it's scary.
When it starts opening up, it's too big.
Let me tell you.
It's like being thrown in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Say, swim to the nearest coast, either Japan or California, or wherever you want.
Your boy Shlomo said in the 60s, he was doing a gig on a Saturday night after Shabbos downtown in the village. It's like one act after it's like everybody gets 40 minutes, half hour, whatever. So he was obviously signed up. And it was, it's like Bob Dylan and then Shlomo, it's like all these guys. And I have the CD somewhere where he says, let's face it, friends. He says, to be in this world without God is a terribly lonely place. When I heard that, and I was already in the club or whatever, but when I heard that, I would think, boy, if I was there in 1964 and I heard that, I would melt. I would have melted. I wouldn't have been scared, and I wouldn't have been
Difficult, scared.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Ronnie, and it's just a testament to really how special you are. And it's not, okay. Hey, chill.
You're right.
Can I get you a drink or something? Ronnie, calm down.
I got a bottle of
There's a concept by Carl Jung. And Y.Y. Jacobson, I heard from Y.Y. Jacobson that he heard a recording. He said, I heard him say that he heard a recording of Carl Jung saying, I got all my big chedushim from the Maggid of Mezrich.
Wow.
of Dov Ber Mesrich. Everything I was mechadesh, I learned from.
Was
I learned
Young
from
a Jew?
Young is not a Jew. He was the only one in that chevra that wasn't a Jew, and the only one that believed in God. You know the difference between Sephardim and Ashkenazim. Sephardim, they believe in God. You know, they just don't take him so seriously. You know, they just don't take him so seriously. Ashkenazim take God very seriously. They don't believe in him, but they take him very seriously.
Very good.
So he has this idea that we come to the world.
Young?
Yeah, young. We come to the world, and there is a fear that we get about being our true selves. Society puts on us a fear, and it has to do with our parents, that we feel we get a message very early on because our parents are not perfect. Instead of saying, wow, my parent is not perfect, I'm fine, my parent is messed up, we say, no, my parent, I cannot afford to think my parent is messed up. They're my only like source of life in this world. They are perfect. I'm messed up. I'm messed up. I must be the one that's messed up. And that creates a schism in us, and we hide and put in this unconscious this thing we're afraid of facing ourselves. Okay, you're already getting a little antsy here. You got to check the phone. Okay. I'm not surprised. Please. Everyone has my empathy.
This is like the fall class.
My phone is on a video.
Oh,
It's
gosh.
videoing.
What am I doing?
But I just want you to know, we started talking about this and you get antsy. Don't think this is nothing. Okay, you may not realize.
I'm sorry,
but
this is nothing.
it is nothing. But you just have to start fiddling with stuff.
I'm fiddling because I forgot to plug this
we
baby.
fiddle. Okay, fine. So, not trying to. You're very special, Ronnie. I don't want to keep saying it because you get too excited when I say it. But okay, sorry. And so we put things in the unconscious. We have a part of ourselves, maybe like a very there's a part of ourselves that we are afraid of, that society, and then society kind of reinforces that you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't you don't want to embarrass yourself. You want to keep that down. And basically, we cannot become a whole person without recapturing that unconscious. We cannot become a whole person until we recapture that unconscious. We will always stay on the wheel. Because it's really always a hustle to keep my unconscious and keep my conscious the way it ought to be. Like, I made a decision, we all make a decision sometimes in our life, maybe over a period of time as we're young and we're growing up, that this is who I am and this is not who I am. I don't look at there, I'm here. So it's about denying this and making sure this is okay in the eyes of people and myself. Okay?
You say okay. I'm thinking to myself, this is a very mindful, conscious effort. I don't know that I've ever had such a mindful, conscious effort like that.
Okay.
But you have.
Well, I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you what this is. Okay.
Okay. If this is what's happening, I'm in.
This is what's happening. Everybody, does anybody think this is not what's happening? They're not sure, or does anybody think this is not what's happening?
Did you do that?
I never thought of it in that way as you're talking and realizing I probably did. Different motivation I wasn't aware of, but in terms of what you're saying, it's it makes sense.
Wouldn't you say I'm doing rather than it's a constant process? Even whatever we set, we change, we move the borders, like this week's process, don't move the borders, right? We move the boundaries for what you're talking about all the time. We remove some things, and we erase some, we add some, but it always comes to that place. Surrendering to God is a whole different story, because then it's a 100%. That's too. I find it's because it's too much power there. When I get to that, I don't want
give Hashem too much power. You give Hashem too much power.
He has. He gave me too much and you have to make it happen. And it's just.
I think for myself, I've been drawn to people who push me.
Who push?
Who push me there.
Uh-huh.
I would
Who
not
push you where?
And to the whole idea of being aware of it, being conscious to making them more conscious. I hadn't thought about it, but it wasn't something that I, on my own, said, "Oh, I need to do this." But I left myself open to becoming.
Yeah, no, it's
various people.
so. What happens, following the Jung thing? What happens is that we have this self-doubt. Okay, we have this self-doubt because I'm afraid. I've been taken in the my familial societal energy that there's something I have to kind of break off and not identify with and I kind of shove down. And that will always be so I can't face that fear in me. I'm not willing to face that fear, right? The society is telling me, okay, I'm not willing to face that fear. So then it comes out in my very close relationships. The difficulties that I have especially with my spouse or with my parents or things like that, that is the unconscious fear manifesting in somebody else, challenging me.
If you can't come next week, my wife will come because the fear, she gives it to me all the time. She calls it my little boy. That's your little boy. You're not there. You are. But I mean, it's the same.
So that is there for us to say, in as nicely a way as possible, pardon me. But if I'm not scared of that little boy, I'm not scared of you. And the only reason I'm scared of you, honey, is because I'm scared of that little boy. And the only reason I'm scared of people in general is because I'm scared of that little boy. If I'm not scared of that little boy, I'm not scared of nobody. I'm not scared of anybody. And the fear that is inflicted on, I know, okay, it's new, we'll rewatch the video. I'm trying to understand it myself, okay? You have a question? What?
No, I just was rubbing my eye.
Oh, okay. No, I'm trying to relate to body language. Sorry, I'm misinterpreting. Fine.
Maybe later.
The fear that I experience from other people is now the rub of me not facing my own self-doubt. So I'm constantly handling with people and with their problems and my problems with them. But really, it's because I've given them power over me because I'm not willing to face really who I've locked up and what unconscious I've locked up. Okay? Now, when we think about, that's Shlav Aleph. Okay? Now, when we think about conscious and unconscious, like I live a conscious life and I have this unconscious little boy, I didn't even realize, okay? We have this unconscious part that we've negated and denied and try to keep locked up safely out of the view of ourselves and the world. Certainly the world. And we hate it every time it kind of creeps up for us. So that split of conscious, unconscious, I believe that mirrors completely the conscious and unconscious way we live in relationship with Hashem's hashgacha on our lives. That I'm conscious of teva, and I'm conscious of this popcorn feeding me and tasting God. What I am unconscious of is that this is Hashem giving me yummy and making me feel full. I'm unconscious that Hashem is running everything. It's totally unconscious. I ask you for a favor. I think you need to give me the favor. I need to sweet talk the bank manager. I need to bribe the police officer. Or I need to get my wife gifts. I need to make sure my boss thinks I need to lie to him to make sure he thinks I'm doing a good job. I'm not conscious that every single need I have is Hashem giving it to me personally, right? That's what it is. It's Hashem Levado, right? That's the emes. The emes is that it's all Hashem. Popcorn's not making me full. Hashem's making me full. He's doing it in a hidden way via this yummy popcorn. And so I can just do it and not think about Hashem because it's totally unconscious. So, and then to start being aware that everything is Hashem and that I'm getting my needs in every single, to the smallest degree need from Hashem, to live like that, and that there's nothing else to fear but Hashem, nothing else to fear but Hashem, you get a heart attack from that.
It's overwhelming.
Oh, it's scary. It's the same thing. It's the same fear. It's the same unconscious. I lock my shadow away, and with it, I lock the possibility of having a full relationship with Hashem away. Because a personal relationship with Hashem is really the ideal, is that you're really living in reality, seeing that every need that you get met is from Hashem directly. It's not through your bank, it's not through your boss, it's not through your wife, it's not through... Hashem's giving you those things. People can't benefit you or damage you if Hashem didn't will it. Nobody can give you money Hashem wasn't gozer to you. Hashem was gozer to you. You can't even screw it up. If Hashem is gozer on Rosh Hashanah, you're going to get it. You may also get a bill to take it all away, but you're going to get that money.
What's gozer mean?
To decree. He decrees you're going to get $100,000 this year. You will get that $100,000, whether you cheat, whether you lie, whether you sit on the couch, whether you do. You will get it. You will get it. You may also get a doctor bill. Okay? But you'll get the money. How you spend it is up to you, and how you have to spend it is not always up to you. But so do we see that parallel that I am afraid to acknowledge this levado, my discomfort with acknowledging my personal relationship with Hashem, my face-to-face relationship with Hashem is part of a very existential fear that I have of facing my inner demon or my inner child or my shadow, or just this idea of like, there's something in me that yes, you should be afraid of. It's embarrassing. It's messy. It's not what I want to show the world.
That's because of my fear of how I may be perceived.
Exactly. Fear of people. Not fear of Hashem, fear of people. But it's my fear of people that also I cannot tap in, that will not let me tap into that full unconscious of Sing Hashem Levado either.
Fear is the barrier.
Fear is the barrier. And it's the fear of people that's the barrier. It's the fear of people, the fear of yourself, the fear of nature.
What?
Real look on that.
You don't have this problem.
I'm waiting for you to scratch your own.
Keep waiting.
So I think that the work, in order to make this reality of what the Rebbe's talking about, Hashem Levado, we can't do it without acknowledging how scary it is. How scary it is. It's not just a matter of saying, okay, Hashem Levado, let's try it out, or who says, like, I started giving a shir at 8:30 in the morning to my chevra, okay, in my neighborhood. A couple people show up. They're there anyway, okay, 2 or 3 guys. It was just yesterday and today. I started reading the Chovas HaLevavos. The Chovas HaLevavos, you do not call a controversial sefer. No one ever called Chovas HaLevavos a controversial sefer. Did they freak out at me? I mean, there was such argumentativeness against, that translation, I don't know, this and that. These people are Ovdei Hashem, these people are learning, these people are growing. There was a hisnagdus. I was like,
Against?
Yeah.
Against what?
Against hearing this. Not this idea, but just that everything's Hashem. Really. But really. I know. I was surprised too. And it took me off surprise. I got kind of like, whoa.
How was the Levavos playing with that?
Because I was saying that the Chovas HaLevavos basically says that Avodas Hashem needs to come from a place of recognizing our intense debt of gratitude. We have an intense debt of gratitude because nothing I have, I owe. I'm owed. I'm not owed that I woke up with hands. I'm not, like, everything that I woke up with this morning, it was a complete free gift. And so that I do Avodas Hashem in order to get a good life is a total denial of what Hashem has given me up till now. And we all do avodas Hashem, including me, in order to get a good life.
A good life because we're using good as some sort of arbitrary.
Yeah, it happens to be that we're Jews, and this is good. So we want schar. We want our lives to be good. We want our kids to be good. We want our parnas to be good. We want our health to be good. We want all these things to be good. So I do mitzvahs.
It's almost transactional.
It's transactional, completely transactional. Hashem, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for good parnasa. I'm doing it for good health. I'm doing it for a good family situation. I'm not doing it for you.
Yeah, what about the gratitude though?
Halavai.
Every breath.
You'll throw a little bit thank you in. Maybe one day you'll say modim and actually say thank you for something great. But my whole basis of my avoda is coming from schar v'onesh. I want to avoid the bad and I want to get the good. So I'm serving myself. I'm not saying that this is like usher and stop doing Yiddishkeit. You know? I'm not saying feel bad about yourself. I'm not.
We have an opportunity to raise it to a different level.
It's such an opportunity, but it's the same fear. It's the same fear. It's the same fear that will keep us in this transactional, on the wheel thing. It's that fear. I don't want Hashem to be everything. Because if Hashem is everything, then I really have no control over anything. And me so desperately trying to keep my inner child or this unconscious, I don't have control of that anymore. Because it's really all you, Hashem, really. And I can't take that. I need a little bit control. And that's why it's easy for me, or easier or more useful for me, more efficient in my limited mind, to rely on nature. I want to rely on nature. I want to rely on the bank. I want to rely on my shtadlus. I want to rely on my job. I want to rely on myself. Because yesterday it worked pretty good, kind of. So I had hands yesterday, some I'll have hands today. And so to give it up to God, to give it up to that part is really, like you're saying, it's like being thrown in the Pacific Ocean. Like, what do I have anymore? I got nothing. I have no, and yeah.
You have one thing. The belief in the dream of the reality that you know, or in some place in it's the reality, and you're going to keep striving for it. Most of these other people, I don't judge them. They do not have any. Like
okay.
These other people were violent.
But even us that are striving for it, even us that are striving for it, there's a certain point where we say,
where you go,
no entry, no entry.
I called Rebbe Yerachmiel a week or so ago, and I said, what if I, because we were already in this, and I was already, trying to process it quietly in my own Dalit Amos. And I thought perhaps maybe I was get back here. I thought perhaps maybe I was, getting somewhere a little bit. And then I asked the young rabbi here, I asked him, well, you're in a relationship. I'm in a relationship. And, and the other person in the relationship is freaking out about something that if they had this class, if they had this exercise, if they had made the effort, they probably wouldn't be freaking out.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pause there. Let's just pause there, if you don't mind. Let's pause there. Because when your spouse freaks out about something, what does that do to you?
It makes me want to, run away.
Scary, right?
It's just...
Why do you want to run away? Because it's nice?
No, it's not nice.
It's unpleasant.
Very.
What's the unpleasantness?
Perhaps maybe I think like I'm completely helpless to help. I can't help you.
And why is that so? Why does that make you have to run away? Like there's orphans and like you can't help them, but you have empathy for them. Why is it hard for you to be empathetic to your wife? Why do you want to run away?
Because just sort of messing with my peace of mind.
Oh, it's messing with your peace of mind. Good. It is. It messes with our peace of mind. Our wife's anger and her fear mess with my peace of mind. That is for sure. Totally messes with my peace of mind. Because that's the point. That's Hashem waking us up to our fear. We think if my spouse would just get emunah, I'd be fine. If I would just get emunah, I'd be fine.
Right. Oh, so you didn't say that the other day.
I didn't say that the other day because I was talking Begadol, and I keep learning. I keep learning new things too.
Is it fair to say, if I hear it correctly, that our use of nature in this world is a safety net that we're trying to create for ourselves, but the reality is there is no safety net.
Exactly.
We don't need a safety net.
There's no safety. Yeah.
So anytime we have this net, it just creates this
Barrier.
Tzetzcha between us and
Exactly. So what is the process of removing our self-imposed safety net? I would say a muzzle. That's the safety net. We have a muzzle.
a muzzle in terms of students.
It's completely constricted. It's like a straitjacket.
Yeah.
It's a straitjacket. This safety net we have.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. You get what I mean?
No.
No. It's a limit. It's limiting me.
Oh.
I'm completely. I lock it up. I'm locked up by this safety net.
Right.
To be protected. So the question is, how do we pierce our heart? Because that's what we need to pierce. We need to pierce our heart, like taking a cold plunge. I'll tell you what I think. This is an idea that I my chiddush, and you can take it or leave it. But when the Gemara describes when we're born, it says what closes opens, what opens closes. Right, the baby in the womb is getting air, but not through their lung. Like it's and then everything that opens, that closes, like whatever was open. If it stayed open, we would, it wouldn't work. It had to flip. Now, when we die after 120, we also have this like flip that happens. What's that? And I think that we can have an image in our mind that when we die, our heart is ripped open. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen if we don't open it here. If we don't open it here.
Oh, this is what Simon used to say.
The shame.
Yeah.
And the just, I wait.
Gehenna.
That's Gehenna. The Gehenna that you think that's going to happen when you go to this unconscious, when you welcome it, when you leave the safety net. The Gehenna of cutting the safety net is the Gehenna that we'll feel from not cutting the safety net and living muzzled and unsafety. It's the schus of Rebbe Akiva and this yeshiva, because Rebbe Akiva even also, I was thinking, wow, this is such a bracha from Hashem, like to learn this mimer. I never learned a mimer before. This mimer we learned was the first mimer of the Rebbe I ever learned. I never learned a mimer before. I learned sichos. And just the opportunity with you to work through it and churn it and chew it and really just every week get a little bit, more kind of what is this? What's going on? And, Rebbe Akiva is famous for saying that what changed Rebbe Akiva? He saw the water on the rock and said about the heart.
That's the first story, and they gave a new book. They just came out with a new biography.
Of Rebbe Akiva? Oh my gosh, I think I need to read it. I definitely need to read it.
First story in the book was that he sat in the Heder, and that's the first thing I did when I came back. We sat in a first grade class learning all of this.
But what triggered his movement?
That's what this book is about, to try to show why he and Rachel acted like they did, not just what they did, but
wow, amazing.
Let's go Rabbi Akiva. Let's go put it out.
I want it, yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you know the story I'm talking about? He saw water dripping on a rock, and just water can change. If water can pierce a rock, so Torah can pierce my heart. I don't have to be afraid.
I just want, this is the thing I told you, my new exercise. I like you said, what's the picture of being Gehenna in your heart? This is a gentle way in this world. I find actually I can't put my finger on it, but I know that my heart is starting.
So put your finger on it. Put your
Because-
hand on it. When you do it, hold your heart. Hold your heart. I think that just anything we can do to focus on our heart, just to get I want to make these hearts that we can have like on a keychain or something, because I saw once this little stupid short just now, like he puts a brain. So, because what we see, we put attention to. And since we don't see our brain, we can't put attention to it. So he has like a picture of a brain all over the place to remind him to think about his brain. Good. So heart. We just need to just constantly remember that this is the organ that is the Ein Sof. This is the Ein Sof organ in us. Why?
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, we figured it out together because it's the Ein Sof. Because do you have any other muscle that just keeps working without tire? You do 1,000 reps and see how you feel. If you can keep going.
I count tzedakah, right? Every day after I collect tzedakah, after finishing the half shekel to the shekel, my arm is tired from just on the table doing this. And then I think about my heart.
Boom, boom, boom,
2
boom,
billion
boom.
times.
And the other element of the Ein Sofi kite of the heart is that who says you have a limit to your love? You have a limit? Can't love more? Always love more. So it's really about us working to bring attention to this most neglected organ in Jewish practical practice in Jewish community. Okay, and unfortunately it's been neglected. And the way it's been given attention is yes through simchas, and simchas, but through a lot of tragedy. Okay, and that's part of what's holding us back is that tragedy. But that because we're like, who is this God anyway that I'm willing to cut my safety net for? Who gave me all this crap? That's who I'm going to cut it for. Who gave me all that crap? So again, we're not focused on all of the amazing hakaras hatova, all the amazing debt of gratitude that we have to Hashem, how amazing our lives are. Because we're not willing to cut the rope because we don't think He's trustworthy. Because we're not tuned into all the bracha. So that's what I think. I think that what we should start doing, where to start, is to start with, obviously, the focus on our heart, but to start to work on the fact that my life is amazing, is utterly amazing. I want to get to a place where it's not as scary to me to imagine cutting this rope and just walking that tightrope. And sometimes to walk a tightrope, you have to put a blindfold on, right? You can't. What we see, confuses us. It distracts us. It makes us fall. And if we just kind of can close our eyes to kind of how we've been looking at the world, how we are used to looking at the world, we can actually focus and walk the tightrope, knowing that Hashem will protect us because we see how great our lives are now. Why would we think He wants us to fall? He loves us so much, but I'm just not focused on all the love He has for us because I take it for granted because I don't think He's the one who has the power. I think my body has the power. The drugs have the power. The medicine, the doctors, the parnasa, the bank, they have the power. They're giving it to me. So of course you don't think Hashem loves you because you're not seeing Him through everything. He gave you everything. You just got that deal just came through right in the nick of time. Mazel tov. Hashem did that for you. He did that for you.
I've been telling you this.
So what should we do? Okay? Everyone take a piece of paper.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Go. Do it because it's a mitzvah from Hashem that you have to go to the bathroom. He is giving you $1 trillion. He's giving him $1 trillion piece of equipment over here. And part of taking care of it is going to the bathroom. So I'm going to the bathroom not to feel good. I'm going to the bathroom because it's a mitzvah from Hashem to take care of my body. That's it. Period. Just say it.
UK and Geulah from you last time. It's the.
Are there more pens? Sorry.
It's the Esosphero.
Yeah.
Right? It's my visualization.
Yeah.
It started, I feel like it getting to my heart.
Good.
It's my consciousness. It's what it's my job that I'm trying to do right now. To keep Hashem in my mind's eye with that mantra around the clock.
And
I
I
walk
do
in
even
the
this.
street,
I do this.
I go from town.
You
I
done
went
with
from
this
town the
milk?
other day. That's what your goal is to get to the
Not
old city without
You didn't
stopping.
finish
Wow.
it?
Right?
Wow.
You take both cake.
I don't need it in a second. I need it now.
First, I was saying you'd hate both.
You can also, instead of thinking, just thank. I'm gonna go from here to Old City without stopping to thank. Thank for my ankle. Thank for my knee. Thank for my lung. Thank for my this. Thank for this. Thank you for this. Thank
I
for like.
got that pretty good.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
one thing.
Okay.
The follow. I got it. It's not touching me. I know.
Look
that
at somebody in a wheelchair.
I got it. I hear it. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel that. My life has been like this yeshiva. Never once fundraising.
Wow.
From 1989, I've had a yeshiva without like fundraising once. Focus on Torah in this place. But I don't have to think much more than that.
Wow.
You know, every month, right? I got my tenants got thrown out. I can't use their money anymore. But every month since then, someone comes in and says, I don't want to say this. I've got somebody comes in and says, like, gives me $12,000 and says, I don't want you to collect the duck with the hotel anymore. I want you to pay your missing rent with this. Come on, what's that? And my whole life with this place is like that. I know it. It's just, how do you get, that's what Rebbe keeps us alive.
Okay. So I have a first step.
Good.
Okay. First step. Obviously, we're doing all kinds of steps. The first step is what the Rebbe says. The most important thing in a Jew's day. What was the Rebbe's favorite tefillah? Do you know what the Rebbe's favorite tefillah? Modeh Ani. I don't know about you, but Modeh Ani was very difficult. Has always been very difficult for me. It's not difficult now, but it used to be very, very difficult. I can never remember to do it. As soon as I'm up, I'm like, Modeh Ani, when you wake up in the morning, it's when your neshama is actually returning to your body. Your neshama is actually returning to your body. It's called, your neshama is in ba'apav, it's in your nostrils. It's coming back into your body. And so that is a time, very crucial time. Very crucial, critical time. Like when a baby's born or whatever it is, it's like there's a time that you have to be very careful with what in the environment is. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna suggest the suggestion. I'm doing it myself, and I love it, and it changes my day. I did it with my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter. She's writing things out because she saw how it changed her day. Okay. You get up, Modeh Ani lefanecha, and then you just keep going. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you. I love my life. Thank you for my toes. Thank you for my hat. Thank you for my this. Thank you for my that. Thank you. You do it in your style. Thank you. Just see how long you can go. Thank you for this. Thank you for my bed. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my clothes. Thank you for my house. Thank you for my money. Thank you for this. Thank you. And then you say, my wife doesn't have power over me. My kids don't have power over me. The bank doesn't have power over me. My sleep. You think my sleep is why I feel rested now? You gave me the feeling of rest, not my sleep. You give me my money, not the bank. You give me my money, not my job, not the stocks. It's you alone. And I want to do for you alone today. Get up. Can you do that? That's just reading a script. That's really all it is. Read the script. So can we all write a little script for ourselves? Can we take the next 4 minutes and please write a little script for ourselves? Or at least bullet points of what we want to remember that we want to say, because it's thank you. My life is amazing. Nothing has power but you. My sleep doesn't have power to make me feel rested. You gave me this feeling of rest. My food that I eat today will not make me full. You are giving me the power to make me full. How uncomfortable is it to write this?
Very.
Very. Why?
Well, yeah, first of all, because you never did it before, probably. So that's a start. Because you never did it before. And then it's, it's like you
Scary?
No, it's not scary. It's
your mind down.
because you question yourself if you're being honest.
Never stopped you before. Come on, let's do it. You've lied for much, much worse reasons. Have you? I don't know. Maybe you've never told a lie before. But if you have, it's been for, at least be Makadesh. You're lying now for the right reason. This is like Purim. What's Purim? Purim is Adalo Yada. Adalo Yada. It doesn't have to make sense. Just say the words. Pikaro valecha hadavar me'od, because the matter is very, very close to you. What? Beficha. It's in your mouth. To say it. And what's next? Levavcha. It goes into your heart. So, and then you'll do it. But your brain is just realize our brain is like, it has yet to be redeemed. So we have our mouths to compensate. Hashem gave us our mouth to compensate and our ears to hear the words that come out of our mouth to affect our heart. Because our brain needs work. If we can get there, if we don't want to do the brain work, then just do the word work. Do the word work.
I'm not doing it.
Thank you for your honesty.
I'm not doing it right this
Thank
second.
you for your honesty.
You know, Billy is already, he'll do 10 of them or something.
Then I want you to write something else.
Oh,
I want you to write all the things that you think have power.
man, that pen. Please.
Okay? And everyone can do this also. I want you to write down all the things you think have power over you. Or have power in general. The army, the weather, I don't know, whatever. Let's do it for 2 minutes. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. As many things as you can name.